He also said that the country is faced by worsening shortage of clean and fit banknotes with attendant negative perception of the Central Bank of Nigeria and increased risk of financial stability. You see, for if you have counterfeit money, no matter how quote unquote genuine it can look, the durability of that note is very short term. Imagine 85% of the currency in circulation in the market not going through the central bank vault system. And then this money, if you have a significant percentage of it as counterfeit, what that eventually does is you have more and more of the notes getting old, getting shattered, something like that. And it creates a bad image for the economy. So that is what he's saying. According to Mr. Emefiele, the move to redistribute the new notes, which will ultimately reduce the amount of cash in circulation, will also discourage ransom payment. Because there's a lot of ransom hijacking activities happening as large volumes of money want to be accessed. Also, he further continues and says, in view of the prevailing level of security situation in the country, the CBN is convinced that the incidences of terrorism and kidnapping will be minimized as access to the larger volume of money outside the banking system used as a source of funds for ransom payments will begin to dry up. These are second to the most trivial issues. Remember, money laundering, counterfeiting, and what? Corruption. Corruption is the biggest disease in Africa. Corruption is the reason as to why most of the African countries can't seem to make progress forward. Corruption is the biggest disease that has led directly and indirectly into the spurge or the surplus circulation of money outside the central commercial banking system. So one of the reasons and an additional reason as to why the Bank of Nigeria is intending to do this is to also enable further reign in the currency outside the banking system into the banking. This will further reign in the currency outside the banking system into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more efficacious, meaning more effective to implement. There are concerns the move may lead to confusion as populations in rural communities away from bank branches may find it difficult to change the currency notes within the given time. Obviously, any radical move by the government will have casualties, but the radical move must be made now to avoid a scenario where the 85% that is unaccounted within this commercial banking system can actually jump all the way up to 90, 95. That will be serious. That can lead to hyperinflation. If already right now we are on the highest within 17 years, that tells you it is extremely, extremely important to do that. What is the reaction from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission? So the EFCC, the Economic, Financial and Crimes Commission, applauded the move by the Central Bank of Nigeria to redesign and reissue higher denomination of the currency. The chairman of the EFCC, Mr. Abdulrashid Bawa, described the move by the Apex Bank as a well-considered and timely response to the challenge of currency management, which has negatively impacted the country's monetary policy and security imperatives. Remember, demonetization is meant to take back control of the circulation of money within the economy. If the central bank does not control the circulation of money within the economy, then it will lead to catastrophic outcomes, especially in terms of the GDP of that economy and the performance overall of that economy. The EFCC, the CBN, and some other regulators in the financial sector have worked closely in the recent to determine how best to stabilize the country's monetary policy environment. It is heartwarming that the CBN has demonstrated courage in taking this bold action, which I believe will bring sanity to the currency management situation in Nigeria. Guys, this thing is very, very serious. And as time goes by, we will be able to see a lot and a lot more of demonetization happening across different economies within Africa, because, guys, the level of corruption is unacceptable. It is extremely on the highest level, and it keeps on worsening with time, because as the new generation of young leaders come in fact, their level of greedy is worse more than the old politicians and entrepreneurs. So it will be very critical for us to look at how this plays into the new month. As they do that, as usual, I'll keep on updating you on the progress of that, as well as diving into the different trading news segment within the African economy, for us to build an African story that can empower Africans for Africans. Like one of the famous politicians from where I come from says, Africa, we are Africans and Africa is our business. But Africa can cease to be our business if we do not take hold of it today. So any measure to strengthen the country's economy, if demonetization is the way to go through it, well and good. However, on the other side, what are the lessons that we can learn from the economies that have gone through the demonetization journey? Has it worked? Has it achieved the initial objective? Look at Kenya. What's your take? Look at India. What is your take? Look at Nigeria. This is the second time they're doing demonetization. Look at Ghana. What is your take? Let's meet at the comment section. Go through the video. If you've subscribed, thank you so much for supporting me. If you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscription button ASAP, now, at the bottom of this video. And share with your friends, your colleagues at work, your relatives. Let's build an African story where trading matters. Because at Traders Lounge Africa, we are here to inspire. And remember, stories are told so that lessons can be picked. Conversations are had so that critical thought process can begin. Thank you, guys, and I will leave you with the next part of this segment of this episode, where you're going to listen live to the Central Bank of Nigeria governor discussing about the demonetization process and why it is high time for them to do that. Thank you, guys, and have a great week.